So, in 1989, Kenneth Branagh showed the world that he was the second coming of Sir Laurence Olivier, who was the best English stage actor of the century. And when he did Henry V, I thought that it was a film that was better than Roland Olivier himself did in the 1940s. No disrespect to Olivier's vision in the 1940s, I just thought that Kenneth Branagh did a better job with it. But in 1996, Kenneth Branagh decides to tackle the most complex character ever written, which is Hamlet, and that's what this video is going to be about. Critiquing Kenneth Branagh play the melancholy Dane from in 1996. I'm not sure if a lot of people know this, but Hamlet is the longest play that Shakespeare's ever done. In its entirety, it's about 4 hours. And a lot of times when people do this on stage, they condense it. Just because, 4 hours. But Kenneth Branagh, being the talented director that he is, wanted to do it all. It doesn't take place Elizabethan. It takes place sometime after the Elizabethan era, and the physical aspect of his 1996 adaptation is scrumptious, brilliant. There's a couple of good scenes, a couple of good actors, but the movie itself is not entirely that good. It is a necessary watch if you're studying Hamlet, just so that you can get a good sense of where things are and what things look like. But the portrayals of just about everyone are not very good. Kate Winslet as Ophelia, I thought she did a good job playing Ophelia. Horatio, I thought he was good too. Pretty much the only two people that I thought did rightfully good jobs and were correct were Ophelia and Horatio. Let's talk about Kenneth Branagh as Hamlet. Not so much his directing, because he does a really good job with directing. Kenneth Branagh playing Hamlet is not off. It's a big no. So Hamlet is such a complex character, so difficult to play. You have to really encompass just about every kind of emotion and every kind of mentality, really everything, in the right spots, the right moments, the right level of intensity for everything. And it all has to be perfect. Anything less, and you're making mockery of the character. And sadly, that's what Kenneth Branagh did. The melancholy Dane that Kenneth Branagh does, he plays him about as a big whiner. Now, and it's forced also. You could tell that he was just like really pushing, and there's no restraint in anything. Okay, whenever people push things and do all that kind of stuff, it just seems like a high schooler trying to do a good performance. I know, because I was a high schooler and I was like that also. But Kenneth Branagh, come on. And he only does really that one thing. He just pushes the crying, and pushes the whininess of it all. I say whiny. I say that he's whiny because he doesn't really do a good job in being a big whiner. Now, I know that that Hamlet being sad and complaining about things, that is part of his character. But Hamlet, he's so much more than just that. And Kenneth Branagh, encompassing just that one aspect of him, really wasn't good. And okay, later on in the film, I say maybe the last act. That's roughly when he ends up getting more traits in Hamlet, and getting those more traits. That was a good, but it's just too little, too late. Well, not too little. It was a little too late for that. Hamlet is it's a play that really hinges on that one character. Even though Kenneth Branagh gives a big ensemble cast that includes like Robin Williams and Jack Lemmon, it's ultimately a thing that hinges on the melancholy Dane, and I don't think that Kenneth Branagh did a good job with it. However, in 1992, I have tapes of Kenneth Branagh doing Hamlet on stage. Just listening to those tapes of him on stage, yeah, I thought those were even better than this 1996 version. Could Kenneth Branagh have wanted to really condense the whole notion of Hamlet to make it more accessible and more understandable for people? Maybe, but I still thought that it just was not a good move on his behalf. There was only really one good scene that I thought Kenneth Branagh did a really brilliant job with, and that was during the To Be or Not to Be, when he's standing in front of the mirror. That was very effective. But other than that, I thought that the movie, despite having a good look and two good performances, everything else in the movie just really fell flat for me. And I didn't think that Kenneth Branagh did a good job playing Hamlet. So I'm gonna have to give Hamlet from 1996 2 stars out of 4.